So the head coach of the Miami Dolphins is now facing some new questions over whether a lack of leadership may have led to the problems in the team's locker room. Boy, this one's getting pretty interesting, isn't it? Some of the Miami Dolphins are now sticking up for Richie Incognito, the player who was accused of viciously bullying teammate Jonathan Martin.
I think if you would ask John Martin a week before, who his best friend on the team was, he would have said Richie Incognito. The first guy to stand up for Jonathan when anything went down on the field, any kind of tussle, Richie was the first guy there. Richie said, Jonathan's like my little brother. And I think that's a accurate depiction. He gave him a hard time, he messed with him, but he was the first one there to have his back in any situation.
Don't forget, the team leadership suspended this player for what they saw as reprehensible behavior, apparently. Steve Harrigan's joining us now, live from Miami. So this is getting very, very twisted, isn't it?
Martha, a new twist every day. They suspended him, and yet at the same time, Incognito was a member of the Dolphins Leadership Committee. Right now, the NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell has appointed a special counsel, a prominent New York criminal attorney, to look into conditions in the Dolphin workplace. Ted Wells is working on that, and one name likely to come up in his investigation is the general manager, Jeff Ireland. According to reports by ProFootballTalk.com, when asked by Martin's agent to look into accusations of bullying, Martin's agent was told by Jeff Ireland that Martin should punch Incognito in the face. That was the response from the Dolphins general manager. Right now, Dolphins are not commenting on that accusation. They say they're going to keep mum on this until the investigation by Wells is complete. Right now, there's no timetable for that investigation. Martha.
Yeah, well, we've got an interview coming up with a former NFL player that we want to show you that sheds some light on the background of this situation. But the players inside the locker room, Steve, so far they appear to be lining up behind Richie Incognito, not the other way around.
That's right. Despite accusations of racism, racist texts, and phone messages, the players are really circling the wagons about a player that might never be on the team again, Richie Incognito. They say that despite what's being portrayed in the media, he was a good teammate, and it seemed to them, many of them, that Incognito and Martin were actually friends.
The only time we ever went out, I ever saw Jonathan out, it was with Richie. They were friends, they were hanging out. We'd be down on Los Olas area, downtown Fort Lauderdale, and when I saw John, if I ever saw John, he didn't go out a whole lot, as far as I know, but he was with Richie.
Martin is still on the roster. He's out in California with family members. There are now reports that he briefly checked himself into a hospital in South Florida after leaving the team for emotional distress. Martha?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot more to learn here. Thanks for filling in some of the blank spots for us this morning. Steve Harrigan in Miami.